So, as you may or may not know, England's history is full of Viking conquests. And the Vikings were centred, and they had their centre, their capital, in a place called York. And that's where we are today, so welcome to York. And we might spend our day roaming around the streets, seeing if we can find ourselves some Vikings. Let's go. Well, looks like we found our first two. The only thing is, the fella's in terrible pain. Do you think we can do it? Or this? I don't know. So the good thing about the Vikings here is they speak really good English. Makes it easier for us to understand. But yeah, we thought the Aussies invented the barbecue, but no, it's been around for a while.
No Vikings, no, you don't mind.
And I thought it was the American Indians that lived in teepees, but it looks like the old Vikings made use of them as well. Thank you. Well, it looks like there's no shortage of Vikings around this town. Oh boy, she loves the Vikings. So this is the, it's famous in England, possibly world famous, Shambles. Now, Harry Potter fans would be familiar with some of these shops that are in this, because I think a bit of the Harry Potter stuff was filmed in here. Shambles' history is that it was originally, in medieval days, a street full of butcher shops. But now it seems to be all kinds of little knick-knack stores. A lot of them seem to be centred around voodoo and magic and all that kind of stuff. And except for one particular place that I want to go and have a look at. Yeah, so we see there the shop that must not be named. I think that's a Harry Potter reference. That's not. The shop next door full of magic wands is certainly something to do with Harry Potter. Here we go, this is where you come if you're looking for a magic wand. I don't know if I can say much more about that. I doubt that they're really magic. The lovely little red-headed lady standing there. More attractive than the bouncers we have in Australia. This one here is the Society of Alchemists. I suppose they're all in there still trying to turn lead into gold. That's their little socks. The Edinburgh Woolen Mill. It's a little bit lost. That's in Edinburgh. It's in Scotland, of course. And this little place in Shambles here is the shrine of St. Margaret Clitheroe. Quick story is, Margaret refused to become the new religion of the Church of England, created by Henry VIII. So for her faith and her need to remain a Catholic, they laid her down and put doors on top of her and kept putting rocks on it until she was crushed to death. So it's currently a working chapel. They have Catholic services here on Saturdays. And this is what the shrine looks like on the inside. Peculiar to me that a street that has a saint from here has all this black magic stuff in the current day on the outside. Yeah, it's all Tudor style. Tudor being Henry VIII.
Yes.
And you can tell it's old because all the walls are sloped and bent, and I don't think they planed the wood straight back in those days. But it's a very cute little street, very old, historical. And besides the Harry Potter type stores, they've got some interesting things like a bakehouse, a camera lens store perhaps. Oh no, I just saw a camera lens. Solicitors. That's pretty cool. I did see on the internet that one of these apartments above the shop, one of the shops, is actually for sale. It's about £450,000, I think. Be an interesting place to live. A little bit of history. Look, darling, there's a gelato store. I know you love gelato. Would you like us? We should buy that. Oh, doesn't seem to have much interest. Stool wool and cashmere. I bet the cashmere here is a little bit more expensive than the cashmere blanket we bought in Dubai, though. Back on our Viking theme. York Vikings. Little gift store. Shambles is a bit of a shambles today. A little bit crowded. I should explain it's probably not normal to have this amount of people getting around York City. It's this week is actually Viking Festival week. And it seems to draw people in from all over the shop. And this fella here is selling ghosts. I think we got enough ghosts for free, I think. Very well dressed.
£20 for that.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Well, if you could try it on and it works, why not?
I don't think it's gonna work with me.
It doesn't work with us.
No.
That's pretty much the end of Shambles Street. Another gelato store. And, fudge pantry. And there's all the information about Shambles. It's mentioned in the Doomsday Book of William the Conqueror. So that goes back a long time. So he was 1066 time, but it was rebuilt here in 1400. And that's when it assumed its present character. I don't think it had anything to do with Harry Potter back then in 1400, but maybe not quite its present character. Of course, that's one way of getting above the crowd for a better view. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you York Castle. You know, there's nothing like a good knife fight for entertainment. Of course, you can just walk down the streets of London and get the real thing for free.
Swords, shields, axes,
You think so?
setting out to the bitter end. Yeah! We have yeah! If you wish to see a battle like full of fit forts, well, these hundreds of fighting champions will show you exactly how they fight. Remember, it is 2-all. We must choose a champion. The top of the balls from Mission Dramatic as they want you. All right, over. You're very good.
Our warriors, quickly take your positions. Gather under your banners.
That's like.
Or will you cheer for the mighty Moors? As the horde of war follows. Sword arms become tired. Spears become slower. Yet courage must be the greater as strength fails. Once again, the hall of war blows. Once again, the weapons strike. The boys seeking revenge for blows struck.
Well, I think that's enough unnecessary bloodshed for one day. We might get around to see if we can find something a little bit more civilized. Okay, so as York was the centre of where the Vikings were, they obviously needed to be able to protect themselves while they set up their city, so they built walls though. And those walls have survived. In fact, that's what we're doing now. We're walking on the city wall. So let's go and have a quick look. Yeah, so that way there you could see your enemies coming, and this way here you could grab yourself a feed at the Fat Badger. You think it's funny for tall people, darling? Well, you can tell that was built for Vikings, wasn't it? Because I don't think the local Anglos, from judging from the doorways that we've seen, the local angles weren't that high, but yeah, that's definitely the sort of height you'd have to be a Viking to look over. Once you get past the Fat Badger, then you've got some lovely gardens to look at, and some more wall work there, and old buildings. And there's always a photographer ahead of you to show you what the wall's like. You can see it's so old that the stairs are all indented from all the, I suppose, 1,000 years of people walking on the steps. And there is the largest Gothic cathedral in the United Kingdom, the York Minster. I'll have a look at that later. Yeah, so Elena was just saying that she can't get over how they had to be tall to be able to see over the parts of the wall. And I explained to her, that was the Vikings. And I mean, I could see over the wall, but I'm 6 foot, a little bit over 6 foot. But she's sort of trying to see over there. But this was built by Viking people. And I said to her, you notice that we're not seeing the short doorways here that you're seeing in other parts of England? And that's what people don't realise, that when the Vikings turned up and on their longboats and they had their swords and their wild hair and all the rest of it, it wasn't just the fact that they gnashed their teeth and carried on that frightened the poor old Anglo-Saxons, but it was the size difference. And even to this day, the people in York, who were obviously, still got descendants of the Viking blood, they're definitely taller than most of the people, or definitely taller than the average person in England now. And you can just tell the difference. It's just the height difference. And of course the wall is very, very long. It does go a long way because it went right around the city. And we walked a fair way along this now. Looks like we might be able to see the remnants of a moat. Yeah, I'd say down there could have well been filled with water. Some pretty nice buildings there. I don't know what they are. It's a university. Yeah, so you've got plenty of little spots here where you could poke your bow and arrow out there and fire upon people. The Great Wall of England. Okay, so as I was walking along, I just saw this little plaquey thing here saying the gateway to the Roman fortress. Perhaps parts of the wall might be older than what I thought. Might actually go back to the Roman days. Obviously they were here probably 700 years before, 600 years before the Vikings took over. This is how you get down off the wall. And then when you get down off the wall, you can see that the footpath goes underneath there for people, but also cars are driving through the wall now. And the wall continues on, you can see there in the background. And you find yourself in the old part of York City. Now, of course, when in England, and you need to have some lunch, what better place than to go to the English pub in York? What's this one called? Well, I'll get back to you on the name. But look at that. So its dogs are loved and cared for here. You can take your dog anywhere you want. And here we are, just outside of the York Minster. We find the York Minster Conference and Banqueting Centre. That was founded in 1461. Oh yeah. Wonder if they've got the mortgage paid off yet. York Minster is one of the world's greatest cathedrals, a masterpiece of stone and stained glass. Its vast spaces have echoed with the glory of worship and heavenly music for nearly 1,000 years. It remains a working cathedral, and we welcome people of all faiths and of none to share in our daily life. We invite you to experience York Minster and God's love for yourself. And I don't think he means God's love for yourself. It means come and enjoy God's love for yourself. So the story is, yet again, a Catholic-built cathedral that when the Reformation, or just code word for when Henry VIII decided he wanted to get a divorce. So he just created his own church. He raped and pillaged it yet again. The Catholics could no longer have it, so it was sold to a Englishman. And I'm sure it would have been the height of the pride of the Church of England, but now they seem to go away. I don't see a lot in the way of signage in relation to Church of England, or was they renamed themselves the Anglican Church? The churches just don't seem to try to make themselves to be multi-denominational now. It's amazing. It's a delightful, incredible building. All these amazing old cathedrals and churches got these amazing stone pieces of art. There is a name for them. They're designed to scare away the evil spirits so they won't come into the church. But normally you can't get this close to them because they're many, many meters up in the air. But because they're doing some restoration here, this is what they look like when they're freshly made, and yet to go up to replace them, the old ones. And here's all the scaffolding on this side. So our little gargoyle friend will be seated up there one day soon. And this is the front. It's an incredible building. Quite delightful. Just my English adjective. I've been to the Hagia Sophia, which is the premium cathedral in Constantinople before the Turks took it over. And I thought that was an amazing building, but I tell you, I don't think you can compete with this. So this is Western Roman Empire built, while the Hagia Sophia was Eastern Roman Empire in Constantinople. But yeah, this is just amazing. What a building. Well, we're speaking of Emperor Constantine and the Byzantine Empire. Here we got the statue to Constantine the Great. He was near this very place. Constantine was proclaimed Roman Emperor, and that was in 306. Now that's how you should sit on a throne. I have to remember that for the next time when I get home. And while we're on the subject of Romans and Roman emperors, this Roman column here once stood within the great hall of the headquarters building of the fortress of the 6th Legion. That was around the 4th century AD. Now all the religious figures that you see around churches. A little bit surprised to see Queen Elizabeth II, but I suppose she was the head of the Anglican Church when she was alive. It's now King Charles. That's their version of a pope. So that's the front. Now the front. Where the entrance is anyway, so we're about to head in. Get out of this unbelievable bit that's just blown up. This is grand. So lucky we're here now. 4 minutes from now we would have missed out on our bonus. We just paid the equivalent of $80 to come here, the two of us. And if we hadn't have been here at 3 minutes to 3 in the afternoon, we would have missed out on the value of that ticket altogether. But the good news is you can come back as many times as you like for a year, which is probably not well suited to a tourist.
This is the chapter house, which is really a meeting room, because the whole history run by the dean and chapter, which is a sort of committee, a CEO and a committee. And when they meet in here, they will all sit and do these seats on one side. So those are the names of people. And then we have a chapter. So everything that happens in any cathedral has to go through this chapter. Most of these people around here are all this way of being used to ground up very young. Plus, some things that are kind of and there's stores, as they're called, seats. You sit in one of those.
So, with the sound of the bells chiming, I think we'll wrap up our York City adventure and move on to our next place. It's been great, hey?
It's just where are we moving next?
Where are we going next? Somewhere that I don't know the name of. But we're going there and we'll make a video, no doubt. And this delightful old building sitting there in York opposite the library is St. Leonard's Hospital, built in 1255. And it's still got windows in it, but other than that, it probably needs a little bit of maintenance before you can start looking after patients again.